gun out there?
Yep, that's on. I already turned it on.
Thing is, he's never caught any. One of them turned around and hissed at him, and he went the other way.
Right here. I've got mine. Yep.
He's a big pup. About a 60, 70 pound pup.
Fast still. Still fast.
Folks, we're going to start here in a couple of minutes. Has everybody that wanted to speak had a chance to sign up on the list over here on the table? If not, you want to speak, you need to go over and sign up, otherwise you won't be able to speak. Fair enough. You guys all set?
I'm all set.
All right, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting of the Morgan County Board of Zoning Appeals to order for Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. We do have a quorum this evening with all members present. We always ask Mr. Rumbaugh to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance before we get started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rumbaugh. Next thing on the agenda is to approve the minutes. However, we do not have a copy of the minutes from last month's meeting, so we'll carry that over to January. Gentlemen, are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections to the agenda this evening? If not, I'll accept the motion to accept the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second to that? I do. Thank you. All in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. It is approved. For those of you who are going to be speaking this evening, we ask that Mr. Peden, who's our board's attorney, swear in those that are going to speak now. Thank you, Mr. Peden. Next item on the agenda is old business, of which we have none this evening. We do have two items under new business, both for the same applicant. Gentlemen, any objections to hearing both these at the same time and accepting a motion for each application?
I'd move that we accept, since both are the same, we combine public hearing D-23-28 and public hearing D-23-29 together to be voted on separately.
Thank you. I have a motion to hear both these applications combined with a separate vote for each application. Do I have a second to that?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. McGrath. All in favor, please raise your right hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is approved. Can you guys hear me all right out there? Can you hear all of us up here? If not, you're welcome to move forward. So our first item on the agenda under new business is public hearing D-23-28. Mike Swango is requesting a development standard variance to construct a residential dwelling with a reduced front yard setback of 4 feet. The property is located at 1776 West Danny Lane in Jefferson Township and is zoned for ag. The next application is public hearing D-23-29. Mike Swango is requesting a development standard variance to construct a residential dwelling with a reduced side yard setback of 15 feet. The property is located at 1776 West Danny Lane in Jefferson Township and is zoned for ag. For this application, I have Mr. Swango signed up. to speak, and then as an interested person, I have Brian, is it Lowry? Am I pronouncing that right, Brian? Yes, you're okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Swango, if you could come up to the podium and tell the board your name and your address and what you're asking for, what you would like to do, and why we should approve this request.
My name is Michael Wayne Swango. I live at 1813 West Apple Blossom Lane, which is on my property joins where I'm wanting to build a new house. I bought the house last year. Been trying to buy the house for quite a long time. We had some problems with the people that lived there, cooking methamphetamines in the house, people always down our driveway, stealing off of us. So I bought the house off the homeowner, had to go to court to evict the people that was living there. When they moved out, they set the house on fire. The fire department got it put out pretty quick. Instead of repairing the house, because my plan was to gut the house out, my son and his wife was going to move into it after I got the house all done. At that point, was more of a mess. The house was pretty rough. The fire did do quite a bit of damage to it. I decided to go ahead and just tear it down and have a new house built by Thacker's Customs Homes. And I tore the foundation and everything out, so it'd all be new. So I had to file for a variance to put the house back. The house is in the same location that the burnt house got tore down. So I'm not moving the house. Now the front yard, which is a 4-foot setback, I also own 2 acres there too in that field. So I'm just asking the board to grant me permission to put the house back to where it was. And I got a picture of the house I'm going to build, if you guys would like to see it.
Did you or did the previous renters set the house on fire? Who set the house on fire? Okay.
Very nice.
And to be honest with you,
Mr. Swango, I'm going to ask you only speak when you're at the podium so the mic picks you up. But before you start, I'm going to ask you to come up here. And gentlemen, I've got in my hands here one of the aerial views in the application here. And I'd like for you to show me where your current house is now.
my current house is here. I own all this, and we own all this right here.
Okay, your current house is 2 houses,
Nope, it is right here.
3 houses down from the property,
You don't have all of it.
but it's 3 houses down. So on that page that we're looking at, gentlemen, it looks like you see a driveway angling in. That would be Mr. Swango's property there. Whose property is this?
That is Brian Ladder.
Okay, all right.
This is Scott Travis.
Okay, and whose property is this?
That is Josh Wilburn.
Okay, you can step back up to the microphone. Thank you. I think you had something you wanted to add, Mr. Swango, before I cut you off?
I don't remember what it was, I'm sorry.
Works well like that sometimes. Gentlemen, any questions for Mr. Swango?
Now, I think, and possibly, you're not 4 foot from the property line, you're asking for a 4-foot difference.
I'm actually 4 foot from the property line, but
You own the adjacent property.
I do, yes.
Okay.
And my plan is to combine them both together, and that's what I was going to do. But the surveyors are 3 and 4 months out.
Yes.
And I kind of need to get started on it a little bit before then.
All right, Mr. Swango, I hate to do this to you, but come back up here, man. Show me on here, and I'll share it with the board members here. Where's the driveway going to be?
The driveway, when I combine these two together, the driveway's going to come up right here. Right now, the driveway is
Just walk that down and show the gentleman, if you would.
I saw it, don't, leave it be. Don't worry about it. Nobody cared.
That's an omen.
So here is the current driveway, all right? This at the end right here at Pumpkin Vine is real sharp. I don't want my son or wife or my son's wife getting killed.
Right.
So I'm actually, when I combine these two together, I'm gonna make the driveway come right here off of Pumpkin Vine, or right here off of Apple Blossom.
Where that curve is there those highway?
Okay, hang on a minute, Mr. Swango, I just need you to show the other members where that driveway is going to be, and then I'm going to ask you to step back to the podium so we can pick you up when you're speaking.
Now, it's real sharp right here. You can't see right on the trailer park. So sooner or later, I'm gonna combine these two together and just make their driveway come. This is
All right, Mr. Swango, I hate to be a stickler, but I just need you to show us where it's going to be, and then I'm going to get you back up here, because we're not picking up anything you're saying. We want to make sure everything's recorded, okay?
So when they get started on the house, I am going to have the two properties combined together, and I'm going to give them to my son and his wife. And their driveway is going to come off of Apple Blossom Lane.
So why do you need a variance to be within 4 feet of the highway or the road and 15 feet of the side yard setback?
Yeah,
Or 12 feet?
I don't know what you mean by 4 feet from the road.
The 4 feet from the property line, I should say.
Because I think my setback is too close. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm just asking you why you need the variance.
To build a house back?
Yeah, but why there as opposed to move it back 15 feet?
Oh, I can't. My septic system and my tank is right behind the house, but there's a big ravine that goes in behind the septic tank that I wished I could move it back, but I can't.
All right, thank you. Gentlemen, any other questions for the applicant?
None for me.
Thank you, Mr. Swango. All right. Again, I have one person signed up as an interested party, Brian Lowry. Did you want to speak, Brian? You don't have to, but if you want to, you get that opportunity.
Hi.
Give us your name and address.
Yeah, my only concern is I just didn't know exactly.
Give us your name and address, if you
Brian
would.
Lowry, 1742 Apple Blossom Lane.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, I wasn't really sure where Mr. Swango and everybody was trying to get this
Talk to us,
done, okay?
please, we can hear you.
I just wasn't sure exactly where, the variances and everything was he's trying to set them up at, okay? I mean, that's all. I just didn't know exactly where exactly he was trying to go with his variances and everything like that. So my questions have been answered, okay?
Do you have any objections to it?
Excuse me?
Any objections to him getting this setback variance?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right, very good. Gentlemen, any questions for?
No.
No. Thank you. All right, well, we've heard from everybody that signed up to speak, so at this time, we'll close our public hearing, go into the public meeting portion of the application. This is an application for a development standard variance. We're hearing both. D-23-28, which is the 4-foot front yard setback, and D-23-29, which is the side yard setback variance of 15 feet. And the findings of facts that the applicant has written is the same for both. And that being under number one, it states, describe the request, describe the proposed use of the property. And he has written our house for living. Under 2.1, the statement is the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The applicant indicates that's a true statement and goes on to write, neighbors are for the property being cleaned up and have a new house. Under 2.2, the statement is, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The applicant indicates that's a true statement and states, going to help values to all neighboring houses. Under 2.3, the statement is, the strict application of the terms of the ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. The applicant indicates that also is a true statement and goes on to say, my practical difficulties are my septic tank and ravine behind my house. The health department states they have no objections. And just verify that that's the same on both. That is the case. Staff's recommendation on both these is that they be approved, citing the topography of the land and the location of his septic system, preventing him from being back to required setback distances. So, gentlemen, open for discussion?
That topography in that area, there's not much reason to discuss this. It's just unbelievably steep, and it sounds like a very logical thing to do. And then I don't remember what the old house looked like, but I'm familiar with the neighborhood, and it would be a definite improvement, in my opinion.
Thank you. Other discussion, gentlemen?
I don't have anything.
I agree with Bill. Open for a motion.
I'll go ahead. I move that we approve petition D-23-28 with the findings of fact all being found true.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second that motion.
Thank you. A motion and a second's been made. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Say aye. Aye. D-23-28 for the front yard setback has been approved. Open for a motion on D-23-29.
Move that on public hearing D-2329, it be approved with a side setback of 15 feet. Just to be approved as is.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve D-23-29. Do I have a second to that one? Thank you. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Say aye. 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 It is approved also. Thank you very much, folks. You're welcome to stay. We've got a little bit more business to take care of. So we're going to move right along. Under staff reports this evening, Mr. Peden, do we have a BZA attorney's report? We do not. Thank you. Our plan director is not here. We have our next meeting scheduled for January 23rd, 2024. Do we have any items on the agenda for that meeting so far?
I believe so. I think there's at least one.
Okay. All right. Well, we will see everybody back here on the 23rd. And without any other business on the agenda, I'll open for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second to that, Mr. Cronin. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you. Thanks for cleaning that up out there.